I decided to use the old background for this one. I thought, why not? We've been on the air for a long time. Thought I'd do a throwback as my background, the original J30 Deeds logo. Hi, everybody. I'm James Lott Jr. So I'm JLJ Media. This is J30 Deeds. Um, so I've been watching and I've been seeing and listening and reading all the reactions to this. Now there's something about who is the Spencer matriarch on GH. So I have my 2 cents, and for whatever it's worth, of course, is what I do for a living. But I want to wait to see what everybody was saying, what the temperature of the room was, and everything. And as usual, it's cuckoo crazy, of course, by saying stuff. What number one? What I noticed, one of the things that I am very excited about with Lucas and Lucky both coming back to town at the same time. I love that there's Spencer's back. There are Spencers. And remember, also, Lucas was part of the Jones family. So that's why him and Maxie are cousins. And he's part of all. I mean, Lucas ties in a lot of things. He's part of all that stuff. So it's wonderful, right? And actually, he's also a Jerome. So unfortunately, with Sam gone, there was also that too. So he connects a lot of people. But the Spencers, there's a bunch of them running around. People who are related to Spencers, including Michael and the kids or Spencers and all this stuff. Um, Number two, another thing that, and I love it. I love it. I've been wanting Spencers back on the show for a long time. Number two, the thing I'm seeing now that's different than it was before, there are people who just hate characters and actors wherever for whatever reason. They hate them. There are folks who hate Carly. There are folks who hate this person. They just hate them. So I'm seeing a lot of biased reaction. I do. I think it's biased reaction to when someone says Carly's a matriarch, someone's a matriarch. And it's like, well, of course, let's root as we should root everything in facts. It should always be facts, right? If we can root everything in what you saw, but we also have to also remember we can't count everything on screen either. I mean, there's some stuff for years. We have to know that some things could have happened off screen. Who knows? But I look at all of this, and I do blame the soaps. I do blame General Hospital. I think why some folks are having a hard time trying to decide who the matriarch is in the Spencer family is because the show, how many years, folks? 10, 15, I don't know, have not properly showcased the Spencer family the way they could have. The Quartermains have also had problems over the last couple decades too. However, for them, for some reason, we still always got the Quartermains yapping at each other at certain times of the year. They were together. There was still something that we actually saw on screen, where they were fighting or whatever. Even if they trot out Monica, we still knew she was part of the family. Tracy came back. Like and they've done a great job recently of having the Quartermain house, the Quartermains all together. So like they've done a way better job. And someone actually asked me, do I know who's the Quartermain patriarch? And I would say it would be Monica, but Leslie Charleston's not on the show really on there. I guess it would be Tracy. And maybe in some cases Olivia. Right. So it's kind of like there's several choices that all make sense, right? That all of us can go, oh yeah, we've seen them in those roles kind of on the show. The Spencer's been all over the place. For whatever reason, previous writing regimes didn't want to write for them, didn't do anything with them. Once Anthony Geary left and Luke was gone, and Laura has not been, I'm sorry. I would think if it's almost like it would have been Bobby, but of course Jackie Zeman passed in real life and Bobby died. So it would have been Bobby. That would have been Bobby. Would have been the lead. Everybody comes from there. Laura has been divorced from Luke for years. Let's be real. She's a Spencer, kind of. That is still her family on some level, right? Of course. Like she's still a Weber or she's still a this. And she's still, but she's not a blood Spencer, and she has not really played that role either. And she could have. They could have easily slid her into that role, and they didn't. She has all these grandkids and stuff. Like, they never really did that with her. Same with Tracy. Tracy was married to Luke, but she's not a Spencer. But she could have easily. She was good there for Lulu. They didn't put her in that role either. So the next best thing would be Carly. I know some folks don't want to hear that. They're upset about it. I get it. But that's the next best person. And it's funny because people are posting, I'm seeing it online, to back up their claims, scenes with Carly and her family. And Carly has been, but Carly has been a part of it. She's fought with her family, been with her family. Even if you don't think she has been, she's the natural next choice. She's one of the older ones, so it's great. That's one of the older ones. And she's a Spencer by birth. She's a Spencer. And she'll be the next one. It wouldn't be Lulu, obviously. She's younger and just hasn't been around as much. But Carly does have relationships with some members of her family. Maybe they haven't been as close on screen, or lots of screen time, but now's time for that. They can make up for that now. There's cousins I haven't seen in years either, but I see them. I love them. So I guess it's just kind of like, I don't think of this as revisionist history. I don't think it's because that's Frank Valentini's favorite that he's writing for her. Oh my God. She's the lead of the show. Whether you like it or not, she's one of the leads. She's number 1 or 2 on the call sheet. She's the lead of the show. It's like, it must be hard for people who don't like her or her character, which is okay to do because that's what characters are there for. But to be mad because she is number 1 or 2 on the call sheet, it doesn't matter. That's what it is. Every show has their leads, and she's a lead. And so it actually makes sense that she would be the next one in line. Her and Lucas did have a relationship before she left. Her and Lulu did have a relationship. They fought, they had a relationship years ago. They did. But again, it's the writing regimes that came before this that just didn't write for them like they could have. Again, like where's what's her name? Where's Valerie? Like it's like there's just been so much just dropped and left on the floor that I get why some folks are having a hard time looking at it that way, because it's like, but they didn't do this, and I say she is the matriarch, even though it's kind of weird because she's around my age. I'm like, oh my God, but I'm like the patriarch of my family, and I'm like, it happens. The older ones die off, and then it becomes your turn. I'm right there in real life, so I get it. So I know people don't like it, but I think she's the natural choice to be the matriarch of the family. If you're going to do the Spencers, not Laura, because Laura has not played that role, not Tracy, anybody else. And there's no one else. Who else is there? And there's no patriarch of the Spencer family. There's no man Spencer that's like, could have been lucky or whatever. There's not that. COA, okay, COA. Okay, so that's the deal. Okay. I think that's all I want to say, I guess. Of course, I invite all comments. I'm always like, I know there's going to get comments, so I'm ready. But this is what I do for a living. This is what I do. That's my 2 cents. I'm curious to see how this plays out. I want good storylines. I do. I really want good storylines. I really, 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 really do. And that's what I want. We'll see what happens. And our show, we'll be back. GH Mini Spotlight will be back this Sunday on the 13th. Regular time, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm James Virginia. See you next time.